Hey guys, Sully Sports Cards back for another video. Got a few things to show you guys, some cards, and then some cool finds that I found. So I guess I'll get right into it. The finds that I found, one of them's card related, one of them is not, but it's baseball history oriented. I found these at, yet again, Bud's Sports Cards in Meredith, New Hampshire, right near Lake Winnipesaukee. Walked in a few weeks ago and he said someone had walked in with what I'm about to show you. But let me just get to the cards first. So he had this interesting lot. I had to pick it up. It's he had them as 1884 N20 N245 Sweet Caparel actors and actresses. He gave me a deal on it. I didn't pay $150. I think this lot was like $40 or something, but it's all just really actresses. They're old. They do have nice ads in the back here of Sweet Caparel. I really just bought them just for the card history, really, essentially. But, you know, I don't think they're worth too much. But quite honestly, I just thought that they were pretty cool. They're in rough shape for sure. But again, I just thought the backs were sweet. Sweet Caparel, you know, just as a nod to the T206 set. But yeah, don't know anything about these whatsoever. Don't know if I'm going to get them graded. Probably not. I just thought they were cool. Had to pick them up. Thought I'd never see something like that again. So that was that first pickup. The second pickup's pretty, in my opinion, pretty incredible. He didn't have too much to say about them other than that someone walked in with them, and he had a stack of them. They were already in sleeves, but I'll get right into it. I'll just start with this. So basically, what they are is they're early baseball standing cards or standing sheets, and so don't know how common this was. I'm assuming it was back in the day. People had essentially, you know, there was no way of going online, for instance, and finding the standings of the ball clubs for back in the day. And what people would do is handwrite the standings based on the games, who won, who lost, and determine who's in the lead. I think that's what these are. And if you guys have any more information about these, please message me or comment or anything like that. But I'll start with them. I got a bunch of them here, and they were already all in sleeves here. And he said that someone had came in prior to me and picked up a few of this stack individually that had names on them, like Wagner, Honus Wagner, and just like maybe, you know, player stats. But don't know if this was one individual person. Some of the handwriting looks similar, but I guess I'll just start off by showing you guys real quick here. So this is for instance, this is 1909 standings. You get Chicago, Pittsburgh, Chicago, Cincinnati, St. Louis, New York, Philadelphia, Boston, and Brooklyn. And I really don't know what these must mean: win, losses, ties. I have no idea. And then we get a tally mark here. So this is from the 1909 season. Just insane, just really cool baseball history. I'm going to go through them all, honestly. There's maybe 12 here. Some of them are really interesting. So another standing of the ball clubs. This is from 1906, same teams. Really neat handwriting with the tally marks. You know, they vary. So they vary. I think the latest one is 1924, and the earliest one I'll show you guys is 1889, which is a pretty, in my opinion, cool find. These are 1903, 1924. So this is the older one. This is the National League. So Pittsburgh, Chicago, St. Louis, Philadelphia, Boston, Brooklyn. That's probably the later of all these. Amazing 1907 one here. Looks amazing. Some of them did come with, you know, what, I don't know why these came with them. Someone had put them together. Newspaper clippings sort of some games or some standings that must have meant something to that person, whoever was making these. This one's kind of buried. Oh, here we go. This is 1904 standing of the ball clubs. Again, with some cool clippings there. And I don't really know what these are. Maybe just some notes. I'm not sure what the hell that is. 1902, same thing. So I think this might have been the same person doing these things, doing these standings here. So 1905 here, 1905. The cooler ones are at the end, in my opinion. 1908. And here we go. What's this one? So this one was interesting. So this is, I believe this is, I could be wrong, but this is maybe colleges. Louisville, Columbus, Toledo, Milwaukee. And then you get American League teams going down the list. And then you also have an Eastern league. So Buffalo, Rochester, Toronto, Montreal, Baltimore. So I'm assuming, like, for instance, 1909, this is like the Eastern League. I believe there's a subset of cards in the the T206 set that might match these teams here. You know, the Eastern League team players on that set. That's just like a cool piece, even if someone was just to collect something oddball like this, you know, just a cool piece of baseball history. And I'll show the coolest one last. This is kind of another one. This one's kind of a janky one a little bit. This one came with a lot of newspaper clippings. This is another 1908 one. Here, some of them have two of them. The coolest one, in my opinion, is this here. Now, this is a set of 4 total. They're all stacked in each other of 1898. So it's just, you go down the list. This is like the earliest, you know, the earliest you can get for the most part of baseball fanfare. And again, if you guys know more about these, let me know, or maybe I can talk to someone about these. Bud, who was at the store, didn't have much information on them, as he, you know, he's a very knowledgeable guy, but this was just not in his wheelhouse. But really cool. And so what I did was I reached out to PSA with a photo, and I had asked if they could encapsulate these or do something, just because I know they're fragile. I don't want to take them out of the sleeves. And they said they wouldn't encapsulate them. They wouldn't know what to authenticate. It's not like this is a signature or anything like that, so, of any player. So they told me they wouldn't. And so I just don't know what my next step is. I'd like to get them encapsulated individually, even if, you know, I'd like to just pay the money just to make sure they're protected. But yeah, again, if you guys have any more information, please let me know. I know there's a lot of knowledgeable people out there, and kind of my next steps with these. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. So yeah, anyways, let's get on to the cards, even though that was a really cool find. So one thing I want to note is I sent 2 cards to PSA to get reholdered, and the process was, I'm not going to lie to you, just a total nightmare. I sent my Cy Young. The PSA case was so scratched up when I bought this, my M116. It took, like, I sent these in for reholder. They were in newer PSA slabs, this one and one other card I'm about to show you, and it took months to get back, and it just, ridiculous service. I'm sorry. Like, even if you're not grading something, you're just reholdering it, the service should be way quicker, but it is what it is. But at the end of the day, it's reholdered now. I just felt like I needed to get, the case was really bad. So this one, show you guys before, that's not really a new pickup, but this is the second one that I reholdered. So this is one that I've been after for a while now. So this is an 1955 Bowman Hank Aaron PSA 5. This was a newly graded card. I sent this in for reholdering because it had a big mark when they kind of like formed the case on it. But the reason why I picked it up is because of the centering and the color. The centering is really good for 55, and the edges are really good for 55. Really no major issues as you see with a 55 Bowman. Usually they're off-centered. Sometimes the next card in the set, you can see the cut of it here, and the back is fantastic on this too. So this was a really, you know, I've been eyeing this card for a while, and I found this, I believe, on eBay, and I kind of just pulled the trigger. But just a really, really sharp 55 centered Hank, and I like this card second year. This is a kind of a random pickup, but I've been eyeing Hall of Famers from the 54 set that are centered and nicely colored. This is a really nice Duke Schneider PSA 5, older label, but it's really nicely centered, and the color is insane on it. I don't know how well my camera's picking it up, but the color's really good on it. And the coloring on the back's great, centering on the back's great. It's just, you know, I've been kind of just eyeing, just because I like the look of this set. It really does pop, and it's really tough to find these 55 centered with that 3-border design. So next one is a pretty big one, I would say. I picked this up off Fanatics, my first ever purchase off the new Fanatics website after they had purchased PWCC. This is a Roy Campanella rookie 49 Bowman. Really great centering. It does have a surface crease. That's kind of why I got a 3. The corners are rough too, don't get me wrong, but this is, you know, a really presentable copy. It got a top 30%. But just great coloring, great surface, perfectly centered for the most part. Kind of why I eyed it, but been after this card for a while. I think this is kind of a slept-on card. I really do enjoy this set, and I enjoy Roy Campanella cards too. So this one I will do here. Yeah, this is a 71 Topps Clemente. I purchased this on Facebook. Again, I think I said this before. I don't think Clemente has one bad card. I don't know. A few cards in the 70s might be bad, early 70s, but this one in the early 70s is fantastic. Really good image. 71 set is so tough for those corners. Obviously, it's all black. This one is really sharp. It was already submitted by NBA when I bought it, and I just figured no time better than when you see it to buy it. And I didn't pay a crazy amount of money for it. I did pay, I think, a little bit of a premium just based on the condition. But, you know, it's a 6, and you don't see 7s look this nice. You don't see 8s look this nice. Usually you'd see them more off-center, chipping borders. But the color and everything just really pops on this. So this is a really, in my opinion, solid 6. Another card that's sort of undergraded, and it's a solid 6. And another card I've been after for a bit, too. Kind of a random card, but Hall of Famer and all-time great nonetheless. 59 Topps Frank Robinson. I've been after this card just because I feel like the aesthetics of this card are awesome in my eyes. I love the black borders on the black design on the 59 set. Only a few cards are. I mean, it's a big set, but no like big names have the black, except probably Frank Robinson. So just for a 6, the centering, this is a recently graded PSA card, but for a 6, this is like a real blazer. There is no flaws I can talk about on this card. The back is so vibrant, and centering is great, coloring is great, clarity is fantastic. I just don't know why I got a 6. I don't think there was anything major. I just think it's PSA's new grading standard, I guess you'd say. So just a really sweet one. Really happy to get this one, and kind of a card I've just been slowly waiting to purchase. Another cool card I got. This is a 68 Topps Mickey Mantle, PSA 4. Really great centering, no issues really with the corners or surface or anything. This got a PWCC top 15%, so it does have some nice eye appeal. Sort of why I picked it up. And this is Mantle's second to last card, but last year playing 68. So really cool. You know, I really don't own too many Mantles. I kind of focus on, you know, Aaron and Mays and Clemente and cards like that. But this one kind of fit the bill when I saw it. Wasn't crazily priced and made a deal on it. This one I picked up at the Causeway Card Show. I saw a deal go down, and this was part of a deal that the dealer got, and he didn't see, it was sort of a throw-in on the deal, and I saw it, you know, the guy walked away after he made the deal. I asked the dealer if he's willing to sell it. He said he was. So he had owned this card for, you know, minutes at this point, and, you know, just 70 Topps Hank Aaron, but it's really great centering, really great coloring, almost perfectly centered, honestly. And just, you know, it's a later card of Hank, as you can see. It's a 7, but looks like it was graded fairly recently, so it's just I thought this was a solid condition pickup. This was, I'll go through this one here. This one's a great one. I've owned this card a few times in the past, but I had moved on from the copies I had owned. This is a 56 Topps Hank Aaron white back. I picked this up. I think you guys can kind of notice the centering on it's like almost 50-50. It's really tough to find these that nice. The color's pretty good on it. I wouldn't say it's the most vibrant looking. The back is definitely vibrant and nice, but really it's just super tough to find these that centered. You know, so that's kind of why I picked it up. I found this on Facebook too, made a deal. It's just like really, really fantastic card for a 5. Totally happy with this one. Again, you know, you could look at a 7 or an 8, and it could look this nice. Why not find it for a 5 for a fraction of the cost? So that's why I picked that one up. Got 2 more here. Guess I'll start with this one. This one's an interesting one. I think SGC's only graded 1 or 2 of these before. This is a 1958 Mantles Holiday Inn Premium SGC 3. You can see it's got sort of the Holiday Inn design on the back. So I know this card is sort of common in the large premium version. I believe it's like an 8x10 or even a 5x7. I think it's a larger piece, but it has the same image. And the cards are sort of tough to come by. Even PSA hasn't graded many of them. And I saw this on X, and I had made a deal with the guy. Just a cool image of Mantle, and it's, you know, in 1958, you know, mid playing years. You don't see this image too often. I've never seen it until I saw this card. But I think it's tough to come by the actual card version of this. So in really good condition too. I don't know why I got a 3, but it's a pretty sweet one of Mantle there. And then my last card is a card you guys have seen, but well, you've seen me. I have owned this card before. So this is a 54 Topps Yogi Berra. I owned a SGC 6. You know, it was great centering and had decent coloring. The back was mainly off-centered, and this one popped up on eBay. And when it popped up, I'm like a hawk with some of these things. I just know I haven't seen a copy this nice, and I had to pick it up. So what I did was I purchased this, and then when I did end up acquiring it, I promptly sold my SGC 6 to kind of fund it, just to swap. But you're talking really close 50-50 centering, which is super, you know, if you guys are into the set, you guys know how tough it is to come by this. And then also too, for whatever reason, the Berra is super, always, all the cards are off-centered to the left. So that baseball is always so tight to that left border. This back centering is really, really perfect, almost perfect if you're comparing other 54s. So just a card I had to add, just a really sweet card and one of my favorites from the 50s. So, but that should be it, guys. If you know anything more about these baseball standing sheets, please let me know. Or if I can contact someone or even a company you guys might want to suggest for encapsulation purposes, that would be great too. So, but I appreciate it, guys. Thanks.